round number 4 in the MX-5 Cup to the Martinsville Raceway. And a lot of you are probably asking, what in the world are they doing at Martinsville Raceway? Well, I have no idea, but we're going to find out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Already you heard the crunch of somebody colliding against something out of turn number 4. Reminder, drivers only get one fast repair tonight. Noah Belleville leading this race early on. Josh Garrison in second. Briley Wright sits in third in the Don Franklin machine. How about Matt Kent in the number 31 with TNT champion Aiden Norman sitting behind him. And there goes the 199 of Josh Garrison for a spill. And there goes the 19 of Toby Estes. Slams right into him. Here comes Patrick Allen right as the caution comes out, and he avoids this one. Elridge George also goes for a spill all the way from Nassau in the Bahamas. And Noah Belleville leads this race. Let's see what happened. This is coming into turn number 1. Oh. There we go. Well, cold racetrack, cold tires, and that's bound to happen, and then Toby Estes gets right into him, and watch Patrick Allen just avoid this. Elridge George almost gets collected as well, but then he holds off. And Noah Belleville leading this race. So the number 41 Haas machine sits out front. We're going to take a quick break and fix some of these messed up graphics on the racetrack. Who would have guessed we'd have messed up graphics, right? Anybody that's seen a broadcast before. Anyway, hold tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds with some of this more awesome, entertaining MX-5 racing at Martinsville. Noah Belleville will lead as we come back to green. And, you know, I got to start timing these broadcasts and maybe start a little earlier because this didn't used to be blue. And it didn't used to say those 16 names on it. It used to be TNT points. This graphic also didn't used to be blue. But again, it wouldn't be a Rick James TV broadcast if we didn't at least make one mistake and show you the magic behind fixing that mistake. Noah Belleville gets off to the biggest jump I've ever seen in my entire life, and he makes it work for him. Briley Wright quick to chase, but how about Matt Kent? You got to give him his props in the 31. He's holding in third right now behind 4 TNT championships. Admittedly, Aiden Norman 3 of those titles, while Thomas Andrews comfortably sits in 5th. You can see how much wheel Aiden Norman's putting in right there. Have a look. You can see him shifting down into second position, just having that wheel turned all the way in, but chasing down Briley Wright. And trying to get the best of him. 62 coming up behind the 5-1 with the 4-1 still leading. How about Austin Mongold sitting in that Buccaneers machine behind the student driver car of Briley Wright. And Josh Garrison, who just spun in that most recent accident, he's sitting there. Cody Riggs in the ski car. ARC's most recent winner in Thursday Night Thunder. Patrick Allen and Elridge George fighting for dead last behind them. And then there's race leader Noah Belleville, with Aiden Norman now chasing him, and these guys between them winning, what, I think 12 out of 16 races in Thursday Night Thunder last season. And up at the front of this one, Briley Wright in third, Matt Kent trying to put the chase on him in fourth. How about Austin Mongold sitting behind the 19 in the 2? Landon saying Estes ain't the student driver, is he? Oh yeah, Landon, you better believe it. Estes definitely is that student driver. With Austin Mongold getting right in his rear bumper. One of the Bluegrass Bandits in tonight's race, Cody Riggs being the other one from Greensburg, Kentucky. Thomas Andrews from Weehawken, New Jersey, going way too high, wide, and handsome, but he sits in 8th right now. Noah Belleville sits just ahead of Aiden Norman, and here comes the fight for first. Oh, contact between the two as they drag race into turn number 3. Belleville really trying to give the hard D to Aiden Norman. Norman in the 6-2 just trying to slip right around him, maybe even just go through him a little bit. And they're still going to be side by side, banging off each other into turn number 1. 62 around the 41, and here comes Noah Belleville now trying to flip over on Aiden Norman and get him into turn number 3. Belleville to the inside of that 6-2 side by side. And they just continue to invite that space to get smaller and smaller, just dancing towards each other, and then eventually they'll touch just a little bit, and they just shy away from contact into turn number 3 and 4. Patrick Allen kindly staying out of the way. And it looks like Belleville gets the best of Norman for now. There goes Landon saying, that is some racing. Now, you better believe it. And Matt Kent works his way back into the 3rd position with Briley right behind him, and the 2 Bluegrass Bandits nose to tail. The 51 Don Franklin machine of Briley Wright sits just behind Matt Kent and looks like he's going to bring a little bit of action to the back end of that Avengers 31. .31 defends off the 51 quite well. 23 laps now complete. Matt Kent has the advantage into turn 1. Briley Wright falling behind him. There goes Toby Estes. And Austin Mongold in the number 10, sandwiched between Estes and Garrison in the 199. Toby Estes and Briley Wright still nose to tail. Meanwhile, the top two are still side to side. Norman and Belleville. As Norman really just stretching the limits of where he can go out on the racetrack. They continue to duel. Aiden Norman now wants the inside on Noah Belleville. They're going to drag race into turn number 1. But are they going to make it okay? And they don't call it the paperclip for nothing. They continue to just gyrate around the racetrack. And here comes Matt Kent right there. Does Belleville just start to make a little bit of contact? And then you've got Briley Wright and Matt Kent. They're starting to get close. And now the top 4 squeezed within 0.3 of a second. 60 laps to go at Martinsville. I think you just heard one of these cars hitting the limiter. I'm not sure. Elrich George coming up on Cody Riggs in that number 3 in the 9th position. And there go the leaders right there. Toby Estes looks like he's got a little bit of bothersome trouble. Behind him, Estes goes wide. Here comes the number 10 of Mongol to the inside of the 19. Just can't get the run up off the corner. Briley just gently working that 31 car. He wants a piece. Elridge George, he wants to get around Cody Riggs and stay on the lead lap. Aiden Norman's going to do it the hard way. Look at Elridge George getting right into Noah Belleville. He didn't bump him. He didn't nudge him. He rubbed him. And Rubbin's racing. And we go on the 41 in second. And now I think this is the largest lead anybody's had for several laps tonight. Aiden Norman at the front now doing his thing. Noah Belleville still chasing. Cody Riggs just ahead of Elridge George, who's going to get to his inside. Here comes Matt Kent, too. He's in third. He doesn't want to lose the chase. The American baseball pitcher, formerly of the Fubon Guardians. I think Matt's back home in the United States now, but I do think Matt was pitching for the Fubon Guardians up until this last year. I'm not sure. But the accomplished pitcher to the inside of Cody Riggs. Graduate of Texas A&M, by the way. So the Aggie finally gets around the lap traffic, and now he follows Noah Belleville by 1.6 seconds, who's caught right back up to Aiden Norman with, 54 laps to go? Something of that nature? And the 41 still continues to decorate the back end of the 6.2 with that light beaming off of the front of his MX-5. And the 6.2 gets just a little squirrely, and he shakes the tail wide out of 2. He throws the block. Here goes Belleville to the inside of Norman, and they're all out of shape, out of proportion, side by side through 3. Norman wants to get back to the inside of the 41, and with 35 laps complete, the leaders continue to have at it. '62 is diving down into the pits. These cars last pitting, if at all, on lap number 5, and there go the track facts telling you 30 to 35 laps is what they're going to get on one green flag run. Briley Wright also going to come in. Noah Belleville decides to stay out. Thomas Andrews about to be put a lap down. Andrews kindly gives way. Elridge George ahead of him by about 17 seconds. Andrews did come down into the pits on lap 33, though, the first one to open these green flag pit stops. Cody Riggs just went green, his personal best. He has not come down pit road. 22:61 for the Greensburg driver. If you just tuned in, you haven't missed a thing. And Landon asking me some time ago, who just ran around the wall that last lap? Not sure. I can't imagine wall riding is going to get you anywhere with this car at this racetrack. Patrick Allen looks like he's thrown in the towel. Running in the 11th position. And it very well may have been Patrick Allen before he jumped to the pits. It looks like Briley Wright also jumped to the pits. What happened? What happened to Briley? Panic's in the chat. Panic says Miata madness. What's in that? What's happening, man? Glad to have Panic in the house here. And it looks like Briley Wright just parked it. Not sure what happened, but there goes one of the Bluegrass Bandits. He's down and out. Aiden Norman. He came into the pits. He's in the 7th spot right now, 1 lap off the pace. 4 cars have not come down pit road. Noah Belleville, Matt Kent, Elrich George, and Cody Riggs. Let's see how this works out as well. Austin Mongold's also coming into the pits. Matt Kent only within 1.5 seconds of Noah Belleville. Here comes Belleville. Is Kent going to follow? He does follow. Thomas Andrews gets his lap back, and now the clock ticks because Belleville and Kent now have to decide how long they want to spend in the pits, fixing up scratches, getting enough fuel to finish this race. The cars can only do, from what I'm seeing here, this is what, 43. So Belleville and Kent can stretch it to 40, well, and that was with a caution as well. So let's say 36 laps at most. It's going to be, I think, too much of a stretch to go to the end on fuel, but if we get one more caution, that just kind of throws everything out the window here. Josh Garrison pitted on lap 5, so he's got just enough fuel to make it. So it looks like Garrison's going to go approximately, what, 40 laps on 1 tank of fuel here? If a caution comes out, Josh Garrison is the smartest man in iRacing. If the caution doesn't come out, then, you know, oh, there goes the 19. Toby Estes goes around, and there's the caution. There's the caution. The curse of the commentator comes on through, and there is the caution. So Josh Garrison in the 199 gets a big helping hand from Austin Mongold and Toby Estes. Let's see what happened. This is Mongold in the number 10 Buccaneers machine. He just loses it out of the corner. Toby Estes just gets clipped as Mongold decides to roll backwards, then hold the brakes. Have another look. Oh, Mongold just gets right up on the curb, rolls backwards, then hits the brakes there. I didn't know if he knew Estes was coming, and nowhere for Toby to go. So Josh Garrison comes out of the pits on the same lap as Elrich George, who has yet to pit. Elrich George coming down on lap 47. If Josh Garrison's able to stretch it to about 40 laps at most, these guys might have enough to go to the end. The drivers that are pitting right now. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Josh Garrison still on the lead lap. I'm interested to see how this ends up running around here. But we're going to let these guys get sorted. We're going to get back in the correct running order, and then I'm ready for more MX-5s. I hope you guys are too. Don't go anywhere. Estes can't catch a break. Panic's in the house with a little bit of curb kissing as well. Glad to have everybody here. If you just tuned in, you haven't missed a thing, but we're going to have the last awesome 35-some laps here. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes with more MX-5s from Martinsville.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Ready to go racing again from the paperclip. Josh Garrison will have control of the field. He's going to have three-time TNT champion Aiden Norman to his outside, but Aiden is running in fifth, one lap off the pace. And we were just talking about Josh Garrison being able to go 40 laps on one tank of fuel and then stay out and get a lucky caution, and the gamble paid off. So now it's a race to see who can be the quickest car one lap off the pace. But Noah Belleville also happens to be on the same lap as Josh Garrison, and Garrison better run for his life because Noah Belleville's quick. He is fast. Toby Estes just getting overtaken by Belleville. Estes is trapped 2 laps off the pace. We do get lucky dogs. We do get wave rounds as well. So in these last, 36 laps as we're coming up to, we might get a couple more cautions. Shout out to everybody that just tuned in here. You're watching the ARCS MX5 Cup at Martinsville. It's awesome. This is what, round 4? Round 4 here. If you missed the first 3 rounds, we opened, I don't know where. Where the heck did we open this series? Hang on just one second. The front screen will tell us here where we opened. There we go, Phoenix. Phoenix, Darlington. Tonight is Martinsville. There we go. Then we're doing Concord after this. I keep saying Concord because Ryan Pinnell has trained me to do so. I blame him. Concord for all us non-Southerners. And where are we ending this one? Michigan, I think. So Phoenix, round 1 at Phoenix, round 2 at Darlington. And if you miss these races, you've got to check them out because Phoenix had the most unbelievable ending that you could ever imagine. Darlington was pretty exciting. And then, where were we last week? Somebody tell me. I have no recollection of where we raced these cars. I have no idea, but somebody's got to help me out here. You guys got to tell me where we raced last week in these things. Seth Wansing winning at Darlington. Patrick Allen winning at... okay, so here we are. This is round 3. So next week is Dover. I was forgetting about Dover. So next week we're doing Dover, and... these things are ridiculous, by the way, at Dover. I know we throw that word around here a lot, but it is going to be just a draft track for these little MX-5s. It's just going to be bumper-to-bumper drafting at the very slippery Dover. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I've never seen an MX-5 race at Dover, and I guess that's kind of the magic of Mazda Mondays. Is we're just going to try things and see what happens. So Noah Belleville now in the lead here after Josh Garrison gets kicked to the curb. He's down in 3rd after being overtaken by the Aggie, Matt Kent, the number 31, graduate of Texas A&M. Now chasing down Noah Belleville, the race leader. Half a second between them. Aiden Norman sits in 5th. And he is the last car on the lead lap. Austin Mongold is the first car 1 lap down. So if the caution comes out, Mongold ends up getting his lap back. Cody Riggs is the next car. Well, never mind. Now it goes to Elridge George as the Bahamian and the American are side by side down the back straight. I keep hitting the wrong camera, and it's going to bite me. It already has a few times, right? Elridge George really going to send it to the inside of Cody Riggs. The 3-car has to defend, and he's going to do so brilliantly as that view is obstructed by that camera angle. And then the 40 looks like he's just going to lose out on the position. So Cody Riggs gets back around Elridge George, and this is the fight to be The second car one lap down. Noah Belleville wrecks in turn number 1. We stay green. 41 looks damaged. He's injured. He's limping. Noah Belleville crashes with 27 laps to go. We're still green. What happened to the 41? Is it Matt Kent? Nope, it's Belleville. Kent clean and green all the way through. Belleville loses control. And that's a one-car crash that does not warrant a yellow. One more look at the 41. By himself, and Josh Garrison just sneaks through. But what happened to the 199? He got loose, and Mongol gets to the inside of him, on board with Garrison. No, he just gets a little bit of a knock, but he makes it through clean and green. And it's moves like that that's going to earn Josh Garrison his very own Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
And in all of this, Matt Kent is now your race leader. Taking that Avengers number 31 to the front. He has Josh Garrison behind him by 0.4 of a second. And the Texas A&M pitcher, by way of Fubon Guardians in Taiwan, now flying the flag for the Aggies, for the Avengers, for Marvel Comics, and then Josh Garrison behind him in the Interstate Batteries. 19 is going to send it in real deep. And the number 10 of Austin, Mongold. First car one lap down. He wants his lucky dog. He's fighting for his lap back. 199 really going to send it in on the 31, and one of these days they just might make contact. 21 laps to go at the paperclip. Matt Kent barely holding on. Garrison, will he dive it down to the inside in turn 1? They do make contact. 31 goes wide. Really tries to hold on to it, and he just makes contact with the inside wall. Kent backs it up onto a hot racetrack. Noah Belleville gets around him. No caution. We stay green. Josh Garrison runs away with the lead after contact with the 31. And we know we got to take another look at this one. You just see the 199 just send it in deep. He sends it in real deep on the 31. And the number 10 of Mongol just scoots away from the 31. Have another look here. And one more look from the blimp. 199 sends it in deep on car 31. Matt Kent catches the wall, and we stay green throughout. Josh Garrison running away with this lead. Noah Belleville 6.4 seconds behind him, and over the last 5 laps, Belleville. Is that Garrison? Nope, we just hear the tires squealing. I honestly thought that might have been Josh Garrison going for it. But Belleville quicker that time around, but with 17 laps to go, Belleville's going to need to be a little faster than a couple hundredths of a second. Garrison leading. 22:48 for Josh Garrison. Belleville crosses the line. Not quicker than Garrison. When's the last time Josh Garrison won a race? Austin Mongold really trying to send it in deep on the inside of the 199. And Mongold has to be careful. He wants to get his lap back, but there's no use wrecking the leader for it, and you just think what could be going through Matt Kent's head right now. Garrison leads. Mongold behind him, but not in second. Matthew Kent in third, 4 seconds behind Noah Belleville, who's closed the gap to 6.6 seconds. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time by for Josh Garrison, and he will finally let the 10 car of Austin Mongold by. Probably the smartest thing for Garrison. He doesn't need any heroics now. Belleville is not catching him at a rate that will be good enough to win this race. If Garrison stays out of trouble, he can win this race, but it is his to throw away. 6.3 seconds now, the gap with a dozen laps to go at Martinsville. Josh Garrison really running wide, really risking this. He's got to be careful. Ten to go this time by for Josh Garrison. He's got a chance to win his first ARCS race in a very long time. Justin triggers my favorite Darrell Waltrip noise in the world. 200 miles a damn hour. Thank you so much for following Rick James TV. And you've joined the party right when it's about to get good. 10 laps to go. Josh Garrison pitted on lap 5, stretches his fuel all the way to the end, and I mean he stretched it to lap 45. He went 40 laps on that tank of fuel, but he's got to go 3 more. That's where his race could end. Noah Belleville is not catching him at a rate that will be quick enough to win, but if Garrison can't make it on fuel, the only person who can may be Aiden Norman, who sits in 4th. Norman 16 seconds off the pace. Does Garrison have the fuel to make it? It's his race to lose. 7 to go this time by. This is what the world looks like from Josh Garrison's point of view. And if you're just tuning in and you're wondering how he got here, well, that's less glamorous. Here's a look at how Josh Garrison got the lead from Matt Kent. Five to go next time by. There's the Avengers MX-5 in the 3rd position. Matt Kent in 3rd. 5.5 seconds behind Aiden Norman, and over the last 5 laps, Norman not catching Matt Kent quick enough to make that time. 4 laps to go. Noah Belleville not fast enough to get to Kent. I'm sorry, not to Kent, to Garrison, and again, it's Garrison's race to lose. Meanwhile, the battle for 6th still goes on. Greensburg, Kentucky's Cody Riggs, one of the Bluegrass Bandits in tonight's race. I think he's, well, no, Toby Estes still in this. Briley Wright, the 3rd Bluegrass Bandit, I think DNF'd on lap 36. So we've got 9 cars still running. Austin Mongold almost kisses the wall there. Josh Garrison letting them all go by. Does he have the fuel? 88 laps, the scheduled distance for tonight's race. Patrick Allen will undoubtedly lose his point lead. He comes in with a 1-point lead into round number 3. And this 46-mile event might come down to how much gas Josh Garrison put in the car. But he proved you can go 40 laps on a run. White flag next time by, and if he doesn't get into any trouble, you can assume Garrison can cruise to the end. If I would not be that close to lap traffic if I was Josh Garrison. I would let them go by. This is dangerous. Austin Mongold going high, getting out of the leader's way. Aiden Norman in 4th. right to the inside of Toby Estes. Race leader Josh Garrison trying to get through the minefield of cars, and he will. Josh Garrison wins round 3 at Martinsville. Noah Belleville will cross the line in second. Matt Kent crosses the line in the 3rd position. Aiden Norman comes home in 4th. Austin Mongold collects the 5th place finish, and Josh Garrison, the Ohio native, comes into Martinsville a long shot, not expected to win. He gets the dub at the paperclip. And he's going to keep it classy, just on the start-finish line for the folks at home. We're going to collect our top 3, and we're going to talk to our winner, Josh Garrison, here in just a moment, fans. Don't go anywhere. 199 wins at Martinsville. On the podium now with our top 3, and a big change in the point standings headed into next week's race at Dover. Let's start with the Texas A&M Aggie, Matt Kent, with a bronze medal tonight at Martinsville. Matt, you had the win in the bag, but then contact with Garrison. Briefly fill us in on what happened.
Yeah, we were racing hard. It was going to be a lot of fuel saving. Garrison had a couple more laps on us just because of the pit cycle and then the caution that came out and kind of threw that out of whack. And then, I don't know where, if there was a pinch or we just ran out of room there at the bottom. But, I couldn't keep it off the curb and the curb kept turning me. So I ended up back, had to make the pit coming to the white, and it started a sacrifice time on track and still came away with the 3rd. I didn't know if I was going to lose positions having to do that move, but it was enough to keep 3rd.
And a bronze medal, nevertheless, it puts you up into a tie for 2nd in the points, by the way. You're only 1 point behind Noah Belleville, tied with Josh Garrison for the silver medal slot. We'll see you in a week's time at Dover.
All right, good deal.
Great run for the A&M pitcher. Now on to Noah Belleville, the part-time driver, the 4-time TNT winner, and shout out to Sir Brunson as well, who just recently rated us with 6 new viewers. Shout out. Welcome to Rick James TV. I haven't talked to Sir Brunson in a while, so shout out to Sir Brunson and all his fans. From DeSoto, Missouri, Noah Belleville finishing in the 2nd position. That silver medal tonight, Noah, you had trouble catching Garrison. Was it just the heat in the tires?
No, I had to save fuel. It was probably gonna be fine because when I had the lead at the start of that run, I was shifting up into 4th going into the corner to try and keep the revs down, and then shift them back down to exit the corner. But I made a mistake. I tried to use the clutch to save fuel going into the corner, and when I released the clutch, it bit real hard and it jerked the car around, and that caused a spin, and it cost me about 6 seconds. So. And after that, I still had to save fuel. And I just was never able to make up time on dirt, or else I was going to run out of fuel trying to make that time back up.
We'll see what time you can make up next week at Dover, man. I'm excited to see that draft track action. We'll see you in a week's time.
Yep.
Now on to the race winner, the number 199, Josh Garrison. They call him Dirt from the Xbox days. And Dirt, when's the last time you were in victory lane, man? You're a Mazda MX-5 winner.
Oh, it's been a while. It's probably been about Arch Extreme Dirt since I last won. So this is nice. Feels good.
Fill us in on the contact with the 31, man. What happened?
It's just hard racing. I know the brakes are a little touchy. I didn't know what happened. I kind of figured it might have been, just something with the brakes. And, I tried to leave him some room. Didn't want to wreck him. I apologize for that if I did wreck him. So.
Next week, we're going to end up at Dover. And now we got to ask you, man, 2 wins in a row at the Monster Mile. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I hope so. I'm pretty good at drafting as long as I can stay out of trouble. So we'll see what happens.
That's the key, staying out of trouble, man. But we'll see what happens in a week's time. But again, congratulations on the win, man. We're going to go celebrate. Fans at home, no Thursday Night Thunder this week. Sad face, I know. But we're coming back next Thursday night with the Gen 4 Monsters at North Wilkesboro Speedway. That's going to be tight. It's going to be a lot of action and a lot of contact. And then if you just can't wait, come back with us next Monday. These little MX-5 go-karts at the Dover Motor Speedway, it's going to be awesome. We can't wait to see you there. We can't wait to be there. Until that next race, everybody please stay safe. Do take care of each other. We will